Pandas, 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 pandas. I got bras and some dope knee and pandas. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you guys are here. Thanks for joining. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Day trading. Good morning. Bill 7, Tanner, Jerry, Fabricio, leading loser, Rima. Good morning, guys. Tyler Molema. Good morning from SW, Minnesota. Stephen Wilkinson. Welcome, guys. Good morning. Drop a GM in the chat. Make sure you scalp that like button. Do appreciate it. Thanks for joining, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Market's about to open in 11 minutes. Do we have news today? No, we do not. Do we have a second entry short here? Yes, we do. Do I like it? I don't know. I just saw it. Kind of have like a triangle here. Resolving to the downside. Comes back up, retest, push. Ooh, that's a big risk. It's a good signal bar, but look on the left. You got this bar overlapping here. It's a good signal bar otherwise, but the placement doesn't seem correct. The risk is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.25 point risk. You can come with a retracement at this point if you want to enter this trade. If you like this bar, say, ooh, I like how that looked like, but the risk is too large. This is when you come with a retracement with a limit order. You could have came with a retracement limit order to however much risk you're willing to take. 1, 2, 3. Let's say I like the 3-point risk. I could came with a retracement around here or even here, and that would have reduced the amount of risk this trade would take. Eventually does work out for you. The second entry short scalps you out. So if the risk is too large, you can come with a retracement, and actually that's what you saw what people did. People wanted to go short here, but they waited for the retracement, came with limit orders, pushed it back down. Good morning, guys. You can see that with the price action, with that happening. Essentially what happens with all these wicks, right? These are caused by limit orders. Avatar, GC Burke, good morning, guys and ladies. Jorge, morning. Carl Herman, good morning. Lower high setup here. Good morning, guys. Speedy Boy, Richard Harris, Iron Cruz, Steve Milan. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Carl Herman, welcome, guys. Exponential. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Hey, pandas, if you guys were... Especially, I've never heard Panda this quiet. Must have had a long night. I'm sorry. Do I talk too much? I don't know. I'm sorry. Ted Rajnes, good morning. If you guys were here yesterday, man, oh man, we actually hit 100 likes during stream, and it was during the ending screen, and I came back on just for a few seconds, just to take a sip of whiskey for those who hung on, and yeah, so you guys can watch yesterday's stream. Came back on just to sip on some whiskey because we did hit 100 likes, and I want to keep my word. Did I enjoy it? Maybe I didn't, but maybe I did. Fairness. But today's today. Today's a new day. We're focusing here. Let's look at the daily chart really quickly. We had this trap trigger on the daily chart, but look at the reaction. It's not one you're looking for. But now look at the reaction now coming back into the wick. If we're trading back into the wick like this, I don't know. We could have an inside bar today, but at this point, you may want to say this is starting to get a bit choppy. You have a chance, a high chance for this to really keep going downwards, because with any trade, typically when you go with the trend, there's a higher chance of that happening. So we do have potential, another push down here, but we could have an inside bar, and the more inside bars we have, the more 50-50 it becomes. But also, if we're beneath the 20 MA and we start to consolidate beneath the 20 MA, waiting for the 20 MA to catch up, most likely we'll push down actually again, because now the 20 MA is just acting as resistance. But right now, this is looking a little choppy. Kind of hard to tell what's going to happen here with all this chop. I mean, if you look back here, this is again where we saw all this chop. I know it doesn't look like that many bars, but this is a daily chart. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 4. That's 3 weeks of price action where we really weren't doing that much. And it really you could tell from, let's say, like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 bars here. You're thinking, okay, this is starting to get choppy. You got a nice push down, but not much more than that. It comes right back up. And so at this point, we have about 5 overlapping bars, and you got to consider maybe the price action trying to tell us something. But really, it's hard to tell. It's not one I'll make a bet on, but it's something definitely I would like to consider. Let's see here. It's definitely a downtrend right now. Trying to capture some of these channels. If you're seeing this live, how would you see it? Pop, 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 pop. Lower high second short. Boom. Works out. New low created. Continues to push down. More lows created. I'll create my channel like this. Something like this. Maybe adjust it to here since we have another push down here as well. Or it could be like this. No, but we got another push down. A market like this, consider this as the first breaker trend. Karma says, caught that at the end, which I had some. It was good. It was nice. Archer says, darn, I got jury duty next month. Hopefully it gets canceled. Don't want to miss a trading day. That's how you know you love trading. Because when duty calls, you say, I hope I don't have to do it. I'd rather trade than fulfill a civic duty. Did I trade 7:30, 8:15 drop down? I did not. I usually trade during regular trading hours. anything in extended hours, unless it's like news event about to happen, it's you know, the price action is I just don't have the patience for it. It just takes way too long for the candles to form. GZ Perk says, when I lived 200 miles from LA, I got a notice to come serve on a jury in LA. Jeez. Douglas asks, how do you remove after hours trading on 5-minute chart? If you guys know, my 5-minute chart only has a regular trading hours. So you see these gaps here, pretty large gaps. And only because I have the regular trading hours, we're gonna have another gap here. But if you go to your data series, you can select the hours and look for RTH, something like that. I can consider this maybe a first breaker trend. It really depends on how I want to draw this channel. Draw it like this. I want to draw it like this because I see another hit here. And we got a couple touches on the bottom here, which is nice. Lower high setup. Not one that would take. It's a first entry. Market's about to open in 10 seconds here. Hard to really tell what's going to happen. Market just opened. We got a second entry short forming here. It's a little bit choppy. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overlapping bars in a row, but we're clearly underneath the 20 MA. So you have a chance here. That signal bar does not look good now. Does not look good now. Decent push up here. Terrible signal bar to go short on the second entry short. Yeah, definitely not going short on a bar that ends on its high. So no second entry short here. I would say this is first breaker trend. So we could have a couple pushes down, but this is a second entry short that is above the 20 MA. Difficult to take, in my opinion. 20 MA also rising. Skip it. Skip it.
10,000 tick trap.
Trap on 10,000 tick chart. Forming here. Oh, second entry short works. Not one I'll take, like really ever. But that does work for you. The 20 EMA starting to rise up like this, coming right after a strong bull bar. And then you get an okay signal bar, but above the 20 EMA on a rising 20 EMA. Sus. That's sus. You're looking for a new low at this point. First break of this trend. $10,000 tick chart trap does trigger outside bar reversal. Risk is very large to take that. 5-minute chart. First candle here. It's a big
10,000 tick trap.
Okay, trap does trigger in 10,000 tick chart. Could have came with a retracement there if you liked it. I don't like the fact that it was outside bar reversal. I like the I don't know. It's just too far away from 20 MA. Right, 10,000 tick chart. Same rules apply. Just too far away from 20 MA. Hard to take a trap at this low. Doesn't mean it can't work out. It's just hard to take. Especially if you have in your mind a better trade that could possibly be setting up. Does work out nicely. Does keep going down. Makes a new low. Break of trend to new low here. That's what it seems like. Trap trade triggering on 10,000 tick chart. Let's see if there's follow through. GC Berg says, I went to jury selection for a rape trial. The defendant was there. A woman sitting next to me said, I think he did it. I didn't get selected, and I hope for his sake she didn't either. You know? I kind of agree. I mean, how how would you say that without even knowing any evidence or anything being put out? You just assumed it? It's kind of weird. Been red since Monday. Let's hope I'm green today. I'm looking for that bamboo too. Let's go, baby. Bill 77 done with $300 short on NQ. Congrats. Second entry short forming here. Do I like it? Not really. Not really. New low's already created. Do I like the trap here? It's hard to say as well because I feel like this trend has been going on for a while. Strong bull bar ending on its high. Near its high? Maybe not. Let it finish. Okay. Kind of near its high. I would rather trade a trap than the second short here. Again, above the 20 EMA and the 20 EMA rising. A, B, C. That's what I'm looking for. Will I get it? I have no idea. Okay. Follow through after the strong bull bar. Right here. Strong bull bar on its landing on its high. Ending on its high. No follow through. Strong bull bar ending near its high with follow through. Trap trade forming here, perhaps. I may take it. I actually may take this trap. Seeing on a 10,000 tick chart, there was no follow through on that trap. Reversing back up to the 20 EMA. Let's see if we get a good setup here. Second entry short triggers. Trap trade setting up here. Right, that's a terrible second entry short to take. It's above the 20 EMA. So we're going to try to trade the reverse of this. Okay. Looks like I'm in. Good signal bar. Good looking signal bar. Really good looking signal bar here. That's kind of the exact setup you want for a trap. Except the signal bar is a little large. That's the one thing that makes this trade a little bit difficult. But 1, 2, 3, 4, more than 4 points large, so it makes it a little difficult. And man, I mean, that is a trap setup that you want. But now the fact that it reversed on me, I'm actually going to come out break even if I can. Because you never want your trade to reverse. I'm going to come out break even here. If I can. It doesn't look like the market will allow me to. I might lose this trade. Man, but that's like the setup that you want. Right? Break a trend, new low. And then you got this really nice looking signal bar here. And ends up hitting me. So what can you do? I mean, if I see a setup that I like, I'm taking it. And doesn't work out. That's why I mentioned where the downtrend has been going down for a while. So even if there's a reversal here, you know, when I say a while, I mean multiple legs down, right? We have multiple legs down where we should have got trapped maybe here. We could have got a trap here because before this, you know, you have something like this, break a trend to new low, could have a trap here. But the fact all these traps never triggered or even set up made it seem like maybe this downtrend is stronger than you think, and even tricky to take the trap that appears afterwards. So you attempt it because, I mean, I like the setup. What can I say? I like the setup. Triggers and doesn't really go. And this is kind of like how you want it to look like. You want the second entry short to look bad and trigger, and then it is what it is. Second entry long does end up triggering here, but it's an ugly looking signal bar. At this point, not really looking for a long trade after this trap fails. Not saying that you can't do that, but ends up working out really nicely. Second entry long, coming from the bottom of the trading range back to the top of the trading range. Super strong bull bar. After it takes me out here, you know, this is why I wanted to see this move right here, but instead it actually waits for the second entry long to trigger with an inside bar. That's tricky, really tricky. Timing was off, I guess, but The setup was there. The one thing that might have prevented me from taking that trade would have been the risk was too large. The risk was more than 4 points, and it's a little more than 4 points. And yeah, so yeah. I did mention the fact that I felt like this downtrend was a little stronger than it seemed. If there's a larger one, let me see. Could have been something like this. Now that I've lost this trade, I'm going to mark this. And it doesn't even have to be like this. It could even be like this. Huh. I would do like this just because we have 1, 2, 3 hits here now. Problem is, like, I don't know. Yeah. Typically, you actually would do it like this. Maybe I'll do it like this. Tough loss. But it's all good. All part of the plan. And as long as it's part of the plan. As long as it's part of the plan. What's the spiel that Joker had with Harvey Dent when he's in the hospital bed? Do I look like someone that has a plan? I know people who can quote that movie word for word. Tough trade to lose, though. What can you do? If you light this up, you gotta take it. By the way, there's only 5 days left to use the BBM 80 promo, and that's including the weekend. So before you know it, it's gonna be gone. So if you're on the fence to try a prop firm, it's a good time to try. You know, you're only risking about $30 some maybe, just to try it out on those lower account sizes. Trap those triggers way too far away from 20 MA, but does a perfect scalp right there, and absolute scalp right there. So you got a trap trade triggering way up here. When I had a trap trade here, this trap trade could have maybe just been this double top pivot. Ends up being like a inverse head and shoulders here. Got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder pushing up. Darn, wish this move happened right here, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. There are some things that could have prevented me from entering this trade. Again, like I said, just the risk being too large. Considering perhaps this could have been a channel looking like this. Thinking that maybe we're still in a downtrend. Just trying to think of ways that could have prevented me from entering this so I can store it. You know, sometimes you gotta make the same mistake multiple times to really learn it. A, B, C. Second entry long here. Do I like it? I don't. It really depends on how you want to draw this. If this is the channel, we gotta overshoot. Terrible looking signal bar. It's a second entry long here. That's a terrible. So I cannot take this long. The setup itself is just too terrible. But that's your signal bar. Ending near its low. And the follow through is not even that good. Right? The trigger bar is not even that nice. Got a trap trade about a trigger here. Do I like it? I don't like this either. I'm unsure here. Too close to the 20 MA. Not enough room to it if I were to take it. And you know, if we're like in a big trading range and there's plenty of room to the 20 MA, then I might take a trap near here coming back to the 20 MA. I may consider that, but the 20 MA typically acts as some sort of support, which may be what's happening here. Goodness, but overlapping bars, just skipping this all together at this point. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like around 8 bars overlapping at this point. Trap does trigger, no follow through. This trap may fail, maybe a double trap to go long off the 20 MA. Again, it's just too choppy for me to take any trades here. I'm going to let this go. In fact, this reversal may be a good reversal to take. It's a triple trap at this point. And by the time a triple trap happens, your thing is just too choppy. It's too choppy at this point. It doesn't actually trigger the triple trap. Touches the 20 MA. Scalps out eventually. To the upside. Skipped all of it just because it's way too choppy. I may have not have made money then, but I prevented myself from losing money in the future. That's the idea. You might... That was really... Hey, someone write that down. I might not have made money right now, but I have just prevented myself from losing money in the future. Did you guys hear that? Whew! Someone needs to write that one down. If you ever use it, credit me, please. A wise panda once told me, if you skip a bad trade, you may have not made money now, but you have prevented yourself from losing money in the future. Jeez. Sometimes I shocked myself. Where'd that come from? That was like divine inspiration. I sound like Bernie Sanders. That's the last person I want to sound like. Sorry. As a free market capitalist, that's the last person I want to sound like. I was trying to sound deep. Maybe that's why his stuff works. Without the free market, we wouldn't have something like this. The futures market. Interesting. Push. What a push down. Not one that I would necessarily be able to partake in. But that goes to show in this chop what can happen. We may find a new low here. Right, first break of this larger trend. May look for a new low. The second push down on the 5-minute chart. Right, second push down here, 5-minute chart. 10,000 tick. Not much has happened here in 10,000 tick either. Losing a trade like this made me feel like today may be tricky. The fact that this this setup didn't work out. It's not a bad setup, but jeez. I mean, if you had this larger trend line, maybe larger channel in play, you may have prevented yourself from entering here. Yeah. It's just like, man, it's true. If that's the case, then it's just you would never really enter any trades. Setups are just very hard to come by. Second entry short, maybe. Maybe. Currently lower high setup. Okay, just choppiness. Could turn to a trading range. With all this chop, you will... it may turn into a trading range. Also, just looking at... Right, the market is fractal. So you have choppiness on the lower time frames. You may see it with the higher time frames. Hard to trade this at this point. This might be one of those days where, you know, even for me, I may like step away from, because it's like losing a trade like this when I felt like the setup was decent. Jeez. What to do? What to do? That's tough. That's tough. Look at this. I mean, can you think of anything more fun than seeing price action like this and trying to find a setup? Jeez. What is that? What is that? That is... I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Goodness. Stay away, no thank you. It's not price action, you know, that I would feel comfortable trading. Not until I saw something very clear. Tanner says, pretty much the only traps I consistently lose on are when I'm looking for a reversal too early. Yeah, I agree. I agree. This reversal, like I mentioned, like multiple pushes down, just didn't... it could have failed. It could fail this trap as well. So the second entry short fails. Actually, the second entry short does work out at the end, because this is your stop loss way up here. So, but just too early. Too early. What is this? Pandas. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I'm gonna reload my historical just in case my eyes are deceiving me. This is just ridiculous. You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bars that are producing some really terrible price action right now. But the nice thing is, Pandas, we can recognize that. It's gonna freeze a little bit here. Not that it really matters. Iron Crew is trying to top off my quote. If it starts to get choppy, your trading gets sloppy. Amazing. A second entry long. Not one I would ever take. But that is a second entry long, Pandas. Creating a second entry short, again, I'm just skipping any setup that happens in probably the next... Honestly, at least in the next 10 minutes, probably will skip any trade here. Just because it's so choppy. It has been choppy. Trap trade, not one I would take, but you do have like perhaps a first break of trend looking for a new high. So if that fits your paradigm, this is a setup for it. It does scalp you out. Risk again is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 4.5 points, maybe a little bit more than that. Does work out nicely looking for that new high now. I just don't want to trade anything after seeing something like this. I just don't feel comfortable until this resolves. It's just the price action is just too nasty. Not what I'm comfortable with. GC Bert, when it's breezy, swing easy. Wait, that's golf. Okay, okay. Do I like any setups here? Probably not. I want something clear. Keeping it simple. And the thing is, if you want something very clear, it may not come up. Especially on days where the market is going to be very confusing. Hey Panda, why not try trading your eval with the NAS? The NQ? I don't know, maybe I'll put a poll up. See if people would like to see that. Most of us trade E-mini. That's kind of like the thing that I feel like I offer here, where if you want to trade a NAS, I think other traders do that. I know Trades by Matt trades the NASDAQ. But for those who like to trade the E-mini, you know, this is a kind of a place where you can come and trade with a community here. That new high was created. So I got to break a trend to new high. I'm looking for a reversal now, if we do get one. Also, it will be in line with a second entry short on the 5-minute chart. If you look at the 5-minute, second entry short forming here. A, B, C. And that might be aligned with a failed second entry long on the 2000 tick. I don't know. Nothing's happening. Sorry, not much to say. One thing is, oh, strong bull bar ending on top on the 5-minute chart. Looks like it wants to fill the gap on the 5-minute. Staying within the trading range on the 5-minute chart that's been forming since yesterday. 10,000 tick chart also, it's a large trading range here on the 10,000 tick. If I get this set up, I still maybe will take it, but man, at this point, I don't think I'll even get this set up. 20 EMA and the 240 SMA are starting to converge. Could mean choppiness here as these two converge here. Happens often. What's going on here? Terrible price action. That's what we'd like to do every single day. Just watch terrible price action form. It's just like it keeps going up, but I have no entries here, and it looks so choppy. It's not anything that I would feel confident trading. Like, would I want to go long here? Even this shot up, it's just wild. Who's buying this? Who's trading this right now? Just wow, no idea. Well, as MA is starting to converge, you can start to see all this chop forming here. 240 SMA, the 20 EMA. On the 5-minute chart, we have touched the top of the trading range on the 5-minute. Creating a second entry short perhaps on the 5-minute chart. It is above the 20 EMA, it's difficult to take, but nevertheless it's forming one. We also have a gap here that may want to be filled before anything else. Gap here and also a gap up here, if you notice, right? We still haven't filled this gap way up here. Am I going to get my fail second entry long anytime soon? Maybe. A, B, C, A, reverse. It'd be nice if I got this set up. Probably the only one I feel comfortable with for to take one here at this point. Second pullback forming here. Second entry short triggers on the 5-minute chart. Give me a trap trade here, I'll take it. That's a bit far away from the 20 MA. Darn. Trap does trigger. So far away from 20 MA, I can't take it, but does scalp out. Goodness, pandas, I can't. My setup does happen, but it happens way down here, and I just can't take it. I just can't take the trade. It scalps you out, but man, it's not a trade I could take. I needed that setup to happen right here. People may have taken it like this. The hidden second entry long, A, B, C, A, trap. In fact, that's probably what happened according to the price action here. People saw this. We're actually one tick away from that from happening, right? We just needed this to go about one more tick to create that first entry. One more push down, second entry, and that's the trap. That's where you want it. That's the trade I wanted, but the setup never happened. It happened with this hidden second entry long. But at least I was thinking the right thing. Just my setup didn't happen, so I can enter in, which happens like why I don't make money like so many times. But also save myself from losing money, because sometimes if I wait for the setup, sometimes the setup doesn't actually even happen, and it doesn't do what my original premise was. Then it's I actually save myself. But man, it's just unfortunate that the setup was one tick away from happening. Basically, just need this one tick here, go up one more tick higher, so we get that first entry, and then we got the second pullback, second entry here, and then the trap trade. That's what I was looking for this entire time. But yeah, fortunately, it was more of a hidden. We call this hidden, or I like to say optical second entry long. Right? With your eyes, you can tell with this green bar that this went down, went up, went down again. So you can see the movement of the second entry. It's the movement down, up, down. But it's not technically a second entry, because you need to break the previous candlestick streams to trigger those legs. Salvatore says, geez, every time I cut my profit short because of chop, it keeps running. And once I try to run it, it reverses. It's actually frightening. That's what we call a choppy day. That's like definition of a choppy day. That's like one of the characteristics. A wise panda once said, I can't now, so maybe later. I think that's a quote, exactly how I put it. What's more tilting, pandas? Losing a trade or skunking a trade too early and seeing it hit the price target that you thought was going to hit? What's worse? I'd like to know from you guys. What's worse, losing a trade just straight up because you like the setup and you just lost it fair and square, or entering a trade, skunking it early because you're scared and it zooms up or goes eventually hits your price target and you say, if I just held my trade properly. Look at this, Panda. See that second entry short on the 5-minute chart. Second entry short forming here. That's why I wanted that trap trade in this area, like I mentioned way early on. It was in time with that second entry short with the 5-minute. It just didn't give me my setup. We were one tick away from it actually setting up for a beautiful trade here. It's been a nice runner as well. But the setup never happens, and it is what it is, Pandas. You can only take what the market gives you, and so. But one thing's nice, you know, I had the premise correct, and if it did work out, the setup did happen. So next time, if the setup does happen in the exact same situation, then I'll be ready. But right now, it just didn't happen. This one still sucks. It's all good. Am I looking for a second entry short now, Pandas, is a question. I mean, it feels like price action is like trading range. So if that's true, then we're be near the bottom of one. Second entry short here. Oh, it's not pretty. It's not pretty for certain. It's not a pretty second entry short. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Most of you guys think losing a trade straight up. Ooh, man. Could be a breaker trend to new low here. Because of that, I cannot take this short. I simply cannot take it because I see a breaker trend new low already created here. With that alone, I cannot take this trade, and I'm gonna skip it. But I may take the trap here. It's just no moving average gaps. Good looking signal bar to go short. It's just already a tricky day for me, and I just feel like setups like this are not what they seem. And I'm gonna set up a pause here. I'm gonna let it go without me. In a sense, like I'm already kind of messed up because here makes it feel like I cannot trust much. In fact, I'll take the trap trade here again to the upside, thinking we already hit breaker trend to new low. Jeez. In this trade with a retracement, small retracement here, makes it a 3-point stop loss if we lose it. Outside bar reversal does trigger, so if you enter short here, you already lost your trade and the trap triggers. But am I getting another loser here? Man, it starts getting choppy again. Darn. The trap does trigger with the outside bar reversal, the breaker trend to new low on a trading range type day. Yeah, I don't know. Looks sus now. We're closing beneath the 20 MA. We're closing red here, essentially. It's one of those, like, what's better, just lose it or skunk it and see it hit your price target. Looks like it's gonna take me out, actually. I was waiting for that trap to trigger. Ooh. Are you giving me another opportunity here? I may come in with a double position if it traps. Not the best looking trade. Feels very choppy. Let me just come out break even here. Or, it's gonna take me out. Darn. Too tricky. I'll probably sit on my paws the rest of the day. That's tricky. That is so tricky, pandas. This price action is not it. I'm already saying this is bad price action. That's hard. I mean, break a trend new low, outside bar reversal trap. That's why I like to skip outside bar reversals, and this is an instance of that, of why I like to skip outside bar reversals. But nevertheless, it's tricky. That's tricky. I didn't mind. I mean, the fact that if you went short here, you got stopped out essentially with this bar, and creates that outside bar reversal, and it got me again. Tricky, very tricky. At this point, like, I would just probably sit on my paws and just step away because I'm not properly reading this price. I'm not reading it as if we have a confusing day. I'm not reading it as if it's a trading range type day. I'm trying to think that we're gonna have these clear trends right now, but apparently not really. It happens in the same area, almost exactly where I lost this trade. Almost exactly 1 point away from where I lost my first trade. It happened pretty much in the same spot. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Goodness gracious. Whew. 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 Tricky, tricky, tricky. That's tricky. I don't like it. I don't like when the market's tricky. I don't like to play with it. I typically would just sit on my paws from now on. Wow. I came with a retracement at least. That's the one good thing about that trade. I came with a retracement and was able to get out. I was almost going to go with a double position if it did push up higher. Now we got a wedge here. 3 pushes down. All the times I've skipped outside bar reversals, and this one I don't skip. Jeez. That's kind of what tricky days do to you. Your mental capital is just starts to get shot, and makes it difficult to trade rest of the day, to be honest. Like, even if you see a clear setup, you're like, wow, like, I missed it because you're so frozen in terms of your trading. I could have came out break even twice here, actually. You can see here, okay, break even, another time break even. Could have came out break even twice. And by that point, when I saw this inside bar, maybe I should break even. The only reason why I didn't is because if we actually triggered the reversal and it came back up, I would have came out break even. But created a micro double bottom, thinking, man, this micro double bottom might actually be signs we might push higher. And again, it's turning into this price action that looks like here. It's turning into here on this side, and it's just, again, making it very difficult to trade. And you might get these jerky motions upwards. Here you may get jerky motions downwards, but it's just really hard to tell and time those. Tough. That's rough. Really rough. Getting super choppy. About 5, 6, 7 bars of choppiness. Doji bars. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Hard things about this is that you see a second short that fails, and you waited long enough to see that fail with a breaker trend new low. You're thinking, okay, I waited, and my patience should hopefully pay me, and it gets you. So, darn.
$10,000 tick trap.
Hard to trade this still. Confusing. Sorry, pandas. Not much to say here. Just terrible price action and just watching this form. At least we're doing it together. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Two trades. I didn't even think they're that bad. Both of them. But what can you do? Outside bar. Reversal here. I'm like always tempted to take traps. But the 2 traps I took so far have failed. I'm looking for traps on choppy days. Typically what I look for. Because I'm expecting a lot of reversals to happen. Gonna take one more trade. If we get a trap here, I may take it. But I don't know. Tyler, I'm out. Thanks for joining. Hey, it's all good. Drive safe. Pandas, thoughts and prayers. Outside bar reversal. At least I'll skip the outside bar reversal this time if it does trigger. It's even a worse setup than this. Huge wick here. I almost feel like I'm going on tilt here taking this trade. Feels like it. Because it looks choppy. And it looks like it wants to keep going in up and down here. This is an ugly trade, pandas. It's such an ugly trade. I can't bear to look. It's an ugly. It's such a bad trade. Do not copy my trades right now. That is an ugly trade. Even the risk is not even that small. 1, 2, 3. It's like a 4-point risk here. It's an ugly looking trade. And I'm going to pay the price for it. It's starting to be a limit order market. I'm trying to go long here on this trap on a limit order market. Almost just want to skunk it at this point. I'm skunking this trade if I can get out. Even if I can get out. I'm not sure if I can. The reason I'm skunking is because it's not a good trade. Even if it works out, I don't want to enter this trade even if it works out because it's just not a good trade. I'm skunking it. Even if it works out, I don't care. It's just not a good trade. It's an ugly trade. It might work out, but it's all good. I'd rather just miss this trade because it's an ugly trade. I recognize how ugly it is. I cannot stay in. I just cannot. All right, it's coming. This is your signal bar. Like it looks like this, and then the follow through is like this. It's not even close to 20 MA. Darn. I don't know. I just don't know. It'll have to be like this break a trend new low trap trade. It's kind of like how it should be seen. And yeah, I would have been the scalp out there. That's about it. But I feel better skunking it because it's just not a good trade. The one trade I skunk, it works out. On a really ugly looking trade, the 2 trades I thought looked decent. Don't skunk it out. But they both lose. It's just one of those days, huh? GC Burke actually has a very good point. He says, I think you have to enter on pullbacks in a limit order market. Stop orders are for stop order markets. Exactly. This is a limit order market. Even though it's floating upwards, it's still in a limit order market. People are buying down here, selling up here, right? Buying near the bottom of the bars, selling near the top of the previous bars. And it's happening all the way up here. It happened all the way here as well. It's happening all the way here. And so if you want to enter a stop order, you're kind of going against the grain of what is very apparent in the current market cycle. So, but I don't trade limit orders. I really don't. Not that, you shouldn't, but I just don't really do that. People who are really good at levels, support, resistance, and seeing those things, I think, are better, But, yeah, I'm more like, I see a nice trend, and I just go along with it. More like a momentum type trader. So days like this really, really hurt me. Tough day. Tough day overall, in my opinion. Strong push up. It's very jerky, this market. It's like explosions coming out of nowhere. Goodness. Pandas, I want to, on behalf of the market, I want to ask for your forgiveness for this terrible price action. Jeez. Sorry for wasting everyone's. Hey, Pandas, how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty terrible. But maybe you guys are doing better than me. Just relax, guys. It's an evaluation. Relax. Just relax. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Are you guys killing it? You guys struggling like I am? You guys flat today? Didn't see any good setups. It's better to be like, I would rather be flat right now this entire session. But the thing is, it's like, I saw a setup that I liked, so I'm going to take it. I saw another setup that I was like, okay, it's decent. I saw a bar reversal, could have stopped me from entering there. But it came with a retracement instead. Overlapping bars, this crazy limit order market. As it goes up, people are selling at the top of this bar. Super strong bull bar. They just sold it right at the top, showing you it's a limit order market, and we are just in a limit order. It's limit orders everywhere. The thing about limit order markets is funny because both bulls and bears are making money here. Scalping all the way through. I'm looking for 8 ticks for profit. 2 points. Man, a lot of you guys are struggling today. A lot of you guys struggling today. 56% of you are in the red. I'm deep red right now, but I'm also trading 5 contracts. So even though it looks bad, it's typical of 5 contract trading. It's just 2 losses really. That's why it's so crazy to trade 5. This is why I'd rather trade 1 contract across 5 accounts than 5 contracts in 1 account. You're losing the same amount of money, but now look at the threshold I have. My threshold has been drastically reduced on this 1 account by $1,875. On my other accounts, it would just be about $400 if I had 5 accounts. And this is why I have many accounts. You get to spread that risk around. So notice, let me explain that again for those who are kind of confused. The reason why I like to have multiple accounts is because right now with 1 account, the amount of threshold I have lost is $1,875. That's a lot of threshold to lose. And so the problem is that with 1 account, when you're trading 5 contracts, that's what happens. But if I had 5 accounts trading 1 contract each on all of them, which is the exact same amount of exposure, then I would really have only lost, right, whatever that is divided by 5. So right around $200, less than $200. No, actually, I mean, my math is not right now. $375. That's how much I lost. I lost $375 compared to $1,875. This is like an impossible market to trade. It's not one I enjoy. It's one I typically would just get away from and maybe not even look at the chart for the rest of the day. It seems like it's a trading range type day today, and with that you get a lot of tricks, a lot of traps. Even the traps trap themselves. You get like 5 or 6 traps, you know, like in a row sometimes. All too confusing here. I mean, I don't know. Something like this spike in channel type situation. It's grinding up. Doesn't even touch the 20 EMA this entire time. Whew. It's wild. This is wild. There is news tomorrow. The news tomorrow will happen at 10 o'clock. So it's the University of Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Consumer sentiment. Second entry long forming here. Do I like it? In general, this choppiness makes me really hesitant to do any trade here. But it doesn't matter because it might not even happen. So let's wait for the setup to happen. Yeah, a lot of you guys are in the red. A lot of you guys are in the red. Hurts. Difficult day. I think at this point in time, I probably would close it down. Well, we got about 5 more minutes left, and we have potential second entry long here. A, B, C. Ooh, would it be close to our key area? Or maybe the count will reset if we break above this pivot high. The count's reset, and we lose our second entry long setup. Come on. It's so choppy. Nothing's reliable at this point in terms of setups. Ah. It's not going to even give us a setup. It's going to break the previous pivot high. No second entry longs for you. No two leggies for you. That's what the market's saying. Yep, it's gone. Goodness gracious. What is this? Like, no entries in this entire uptrend. Just grinding up. Grinding up. Jay Lee asks, what is the secret for staying funded for a long time? I have blown 3 funded accounts within 2 days of getting it. You're trading too large. You're probably trading too much. I would say, you know, what account are you trading? If you're trading a 50K account, then change it to micros. And I would say to be funded, to stay funded, it's all about risk management. It teaches you how to be really good at risk management. That's the secret to be funded for a long time. This is just terrible. What can I say? 5-minute chart. We have a trading range and coming from the bottom to top. Oh, about to fill the gap on the 5-minute chart. Jeez. Okay. Coming to the previous day's close, which is funny because that ends up becoming a doji bar on the daily chart. Daily chart ends up being a doji bar by coming back to the previous day's close, and it could be indicative of what kind of day it's going to be today. Trading 150K counts. How many contracts you're trading? If you're trading more than one contract on the 150K counts, that could be too much. Like shoots up, hits the previous day's close, and just bounces right off of it. I'm surprised we still haven't filled this gap here. I feel like we're going to try to, but it may take a long time, much longer than you think. It could reverse here. Second entry long. After a failed breakout here. Is it one that I even want to take? Is it one I even want to take? Jeez. I'm just waiting to see if a second entry long forms here. Jeez. What a day. What a day. I mean, look at this move. Could not even get a piece of it at all. Other than this trap. I mean, the trap ends up working out, but that's a terrible looking trap. This is not it. It's not it. Even if we get a setup here, I don't know if I can even take it. Jeez. I might look for a reversal here. Okay, we lost the second entry long. Finally, the gap gets filled on the 5-minute chart. Gap gets filled. All right, pandas, that's it for me today. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm down today, but it's all good. Tomorrow, I'll see you guys bright and early. Remember, there is news at 10 o'clock, so we'll be trading that together. And yeah, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream. Thanks for joining. What can you do? You can only take what the market gives you, and I got two duds today, so it's all good. 2 donuts, and it's yeah. You take the good trades, and then you skip a bad trade, and the bad trade is the one that works out. So just one of those days. All right, pandas. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe, everyone. As always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.